All right.
Well, welcome everyone to Real People, Real Stories. We are so excited to bring you another Zoom tonight. My name is Dr. Barbie Phillips, and I'm coming to you from Fargo, Oklahoma. I am a chiropractic physician for people and animals and have been in business for 24 years. So if you're new to redox molecules, and this is the first time that you're hearing about them, I'd like to introduce a little bit about the products. Tonight, we're going to talk about ASEA, which is the flagship product. And then we're also going to be talking about a little bit about the gel Renew 28. So the liquid product we drink and the gel we rub on, and there's so many uses for the gel. So if you don't know what redox molecules are, then let me explain that. Our cells need redox molecules in order to communicate with one another. And we have to have good communication in order for our body functions to work like they're supposed to. When we are deficient in redox molecules, our cells can no longer communicate at the level they need to for us to be healthy. And ASEA has come up with a product to where they can we can consume them and replenish these molecules that are made in our body. And I will ask if you have come on, if you'll go ahead and mute your microphones and turn your camera off if you are a guest tonight right now. We'll open it up for questions in a little while. So redox molecules, when we consume them, they're tiny, tiny little molecules. And those tiny molecules, they absorb very easily into our cells. And because they absorb very easily, this happens quickly. And when they get into the cells, they act as an on-off switch to our cells. And when the good cells and the good genetics are turned on, that is wonderful. The bad ones are turned off. And we like that. And over time, this becomes a cascade effect to the body where it helps our body with resilience to stress and overall wellness. I am going to insert a disclaimer here before we get started with our guest tonight that ASEA or anything that we talk about tonight is not intended to diagnose, treat, or prevent any medical condition. You're simply going to hear from a user of the ASEA product and the redox signaling molecules product tonight from our guest, Jimmy Saffel. And he is going to share his experience. So now I'm going to introduce Jimmy. If you want to share kind of your background, where you come from, a little about yourself, how you were introduced to ASEA, and then also what your life is like now that you've been an ASEA user for a period of time. I'm going to turn it over to you. Whoops, Jimmy, hold on just a second. You're muted.
Okay, is that better?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Technologies, imagine that, right? Anyway, thanks for having me. Back when I started, I'm from the Waco area in Texas, and I worked at a manufacturing plant there, and had an accident with my back, and that's the day my life changed. Didn't know what to expect or anything really, but the medical world didn't really have anything for me. They basically sent me home and said, "It is what it is. Learn to live with it." And so, with my back, come to find out, I didn't really know what had happened, but after all that, finding out that my bottom 3 discs had completely got crushed, and it was very severe. I was at risk for being paralyzed for life. Had emergency surgery the very next morning. And after all that, I thought, I just kept praying and telling myself, I'm going to be better. I'm going to be better. But come to find out I wasn't. The only thing that was better was, I guess, that I wasn't at risk for being paralyzed. But I had lots of other issues after all that I didn't have before, including burning in my feet. My right leg was basically numb, dead, just in lots of pain, lots of discomfort. And so my better half, Michelle, she had been looking around trying to find something for me when me and her met. And so didn't really, no, I didn't really know
Like a
what she was
really
doing.
big salad, please.
Don't eat salad like after the first day. Salad.
Are we still okay, Barbie? Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, Jimmy, we're good.
Okay. All right. Just making sure.
Yeah.
So Michelle had been looking around for something for me to help me, but she didn't tell me she was doing that. And so she had been researching the product because a couple of her girlfriends, she had been to some meetings, some women's working meetings and women working groups. And she had heard a couple of the ladies talk about this product. And so she started researching it and checking it out. And come to find out, it was something that we found out that had no side effects, and it was non-toxic, so it can't hurt you. So that's one of the things that caught my attention when she brought it to my attention. She said, I ordered you this stuff. We're going to see if it's going to help you. And so when it came in, I said, so what is it? She said, I don't really know a whole lot about it. Just drink it. And I said, okay. We didn't know a whole lot about the gel at that time. And so I started taking the 2 ounces in the morning, 2 ounces at night. And we were talking to Tammy and then to Leland. And, Leland basically told me, he said, as much hardware as you have, much damage as you have in your back, you're probably going to need to take more for your body to recover, for your body to heal. And so I started bumping mine up after a few weeks, and I got up to 16 ounces a day. That's what I was taking. And it was about 2.5 months in. It's like, we talk about somebody flipping the light switch on. And that's basically what happened. It's like the light switch flipped on. The pain was gone. My discomfort was gone. It was crazy, but there was little things along the way that I guess I wasn't really paying attention to that was changing, because I was focused more on my back. And so I started looking at it, there was little things like I was sleeping better. I was dreaming more, just lots of little things. My little aches and stuff that I had in my knees and stuff was gone. And so, but I've been taking 16 ounces for about 2.5 years. And then, I heard doctors on the calls and stuff say, once you've been on it for a while, you can try to bump back to see where your sweet spot is. And so now I'm back to 12 ounces a day, steady. Some days, depending on if I know that I'm going to be really busy, a lot going on, then I'll take 16 ounces. But for everyday usage, I use at least 12 ounces. And so, but my life has really changed since I've been on a sea. It took about 2.5 months in is really the light went on, when the light came on and the light switch flipped. And now, I'm doing things that I know that I would have never done before. I'm doing stuff, like I would have done in my 20s. And so, which is really amazing. As far as umpiring, I take care of baseball fields. I do lots of activity stuff.
So where were you when you first got on the product? What was going on? Well, why did I reach out and do that?
What do you mean?
Because your feet.
Well, yeah, because my feet were burning, hurting all the time. My feet would swell like cankles. I mean, it's like my ankles were made one solid leg. And just I couldn't stand basically for about 5 or 6 minutes is it. And my feet would just go numb on me. I couldn't feel them. And so, but yeah, all that went away. I wasn't even really, that's one of the other things I wasn't really paying attention to, I was more focused on my back. But, it's crazy what happens when you give the body what's in that blue bottle, what can happen. And I know we say all the time, I hear Terry talk every morning on the morning call. Do we really know what we have in that bottle? what we have our hands on, because there's stories after stories, testimonies, testimonies, testimonies. And I hear more and more and more every day about, you know, what this product has done for somebody. And it's almost, you know, it's unbelievable, but it's believable because I know where I was at.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So as a chiropractor, it makes perfect sense to me about the extremities, getting swollen and you having some of the issues with your legs all related to the
Right.
back. So it is just a matter of time of healing that back from those injuries. And it sounds like to me that just over time you've noticed that. So yeah. So tell me a little bit about, so let's kind of move forward a little bit into the recent years. Um, and you're getting into umpiring and you're doing the things like that again, you're being more active. So
Right.
how is that as far as you mentally? What has that done for you mentally?
Um, we talk about, everything is it's a mental thing. You have to change, the way you think. But it really has, when it first happened, it was almost like I was scared to do anything because I'm like, wait a minute, it's going to come back,
Right.
because you were in such a bad spot, hurting so bad, and all this stuff going on. It's like when that goes away, you're like, yeah, but how long is that going to last? Or,
Right.
Because how long is it going to be before that returns? But it's really amazing just to be able to take what's in that bottle and still have uh, you know, the freedom and be able to just to be normal again, just to be what's really supposed to be normal. That was my new normal, but it wasn't normal. It was
Mhm.
my normal, but it wasn't normal.
Right.
And so there's so many people that I meet nowadays, uh, you know, that we talk to about the product, that they've just become to believe that that's their new normal. But I tell them, I say, so when you were younger, is that how you were? And they say, well, no. And I said, well, then this is not normal. This is maybe your new normal, but it's not normal for you to be that way. And would you like to be back the way you were when you were younger?
Who wouldn't say yes to that? You know?
Exactly. Right.
Yeah, and I see that in my business as well. People just assume that as we get older, we're supposed to start feeling worse or get more
Yeah.
aches and discomforts and stuff. But what we really don't understand until, you get involved with something like this is there's dysfunction in the body that creates that. So if we can give the body what it needs to actually act like, healthy in a healthy manner all the way down to the cellular level, then the outcome is very different. And I can imagine that it also has had an effect on even your marriage. I mean, what was that like when you were, down in the back and your wife is trying to help you and, you know, I'm sure it affected income. So there's so many variables that it affected. I mean, what was that like for you?
Well, it was, it wasn't good. And, when you meet somebody or when you're with somebody, it's like, I guess you realize where you're at and you're like, if someone doesn't want to be with you or doesn't, you have to understand why they don't want to be with you, because they don't, not everybody wants to be with somebody who can't go this place or go that place or do this or do that because I have to be in bed all the time because I can't do anything, you know, and that person, because you feel like you're actually taking life away from that person because they're not able to do what they want to do in life because of your situation. And you turn it's like you turn into they turn into a caregiver instead of a wife or or whatever, because they're constantly tending to you instead of y'all being able to travel or go here or go there or go spend time with the grandkids and kids and just just take off and go spend a few days, go to Colorado or go just go wherever, just go have some fun, just like you're fixing to take a trip.
Right,
That's
right.
all that you have to think about all that. And when you get that back, it changes things, so
Well, you're actually giving me goosebumps. That's emotional. You think
yeah,
about the wide things that this changes in someone's life when they get their health back. And it's just phenomenal to think of what all you regained by just being introduced to the redox molecules. So,
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
It's a game changer for sure, and that's the thing when we talk to people is I've only met probably a handful of people out of all the people we've talked to about ASEA that even knew that their body were cellular.
right, right.
So many people does not know that their bodies is made up of cells and their
Mhm.
organs are made up of cells. And if more people understood that, then they would understand more about the product of, if you can explain to somebody and let them understand that their bodies are cellular, this is a cellular product, it goes to the root cause. It just doesn't treat the symptom. It goes to the root cause. And so that's the deal. If you can get somebody just to understand that, then they they're more susceptible to understanding and giving it a chance.
That's very well said, Jimmy. Very well said. So let me ask you this. There are different ways that people can purchase these products. And I know that a lot of times there's fake product out there, et cetera. What would you say about if someone's interested in starting these products, how they should purchase these products and where they should get them?
You should go to the person who introduced you to it, simply because if you go to Amazon or these other, I guess, places on the web that people go to look at stuff, that you don't really know what you're getting when you go in there and purchase that, because you're not getting any loyalty rewards points with the company, which benefits you in the long run, which you can use for free product in a few months down the road. Um, and besides that, if they're willing to share this with other people, then the company rewards you for sharing it with other people. If you buy this from Amazon, you don't get any of that. You don't get your upline or downline. You don't get help to explain the product that you're getting, of how it works or how to use it. And so many times we've heard stories about people that's ordered off of Amazon and they have no idea how to use it or even what it is. Uh, they just overheard somebody talking about it. They went and ordered it. Okay, well, you know, I don't know the whole story behind it, but there was an issue where somebody was putting something on Amazon that they were draining our product out and putting something fake in the bottle, and that's what it wasn't working for them, and there's a reason why,
Mhm.
because it wasn't the true product. And so it just, if it doesn't come from our company or one of our representatives from our company, you know I would say, not to do it, just because of all the scams and all the stuff that's going on nowadays. And it's so much better because we're just like a family, community. Everybody's here to help everybody. And that's what it's about, because if you have issues, somebody's always there to help you. If you run low, so if somebody, you can borrow some from somebody, they'll lend it to you till you get yours in. Or if you have questions or you have somebody that you want to introduce it to, you can always go to your upline diamond or whoever, somebody that can help you, third party validation,
And medical
and
professionals on the
medical
team.
professionals absolutely on the team.
That is great. It is like having one extended, big, huge family. And,
Yes.
people just, they help each other out, whether they're on the same team or not the same team. It's just one big, huge family. So I think that's wonderful. That's a great point. So,
Yes,
great point.
absolutely.
Great point. So where do you see your future going from here?
Well, we're still working. We're still building. We've been talking to people today in the Dallas Fort Worth area, and so we're going to be here for a few days, meeting with some people. And so we do have quite a few people on our team, but you know, it's like everybody says, you just have to be consistent, because we've got some people that actually have started coming back around that we had talked to a couple of years ago. And you know, some people that got on the product that didn't really, you know, even when we first started, we didn't know a lot about it. And so now we're finding out more and more, getting more validation, you know, with the white paper for the NRF2 and all that stuff. Now we have more evidence, more documentation that we can bring to them. And so now more people are coming back around. And so it's just, you know, it's growing, because I just met a lady a couple of days ago. I'm in a group there in Waco, and we were going to ask for donations from this place because we're a nonprofit deal. And I went to the store to ask, you know, to talk to the lady, and come to find out, she asked me what I did, and I told her that I was a health coach now, and through my accident that I had. And she said, and I told her about, you know, this amazing product, and she said, "Is it a SIA?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am." And she said, "That is such a great product." She said, "I wish everybody was taking it."
Mhm.
So more and more people that we're running into know about the product.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's getting around.
That's great. We'll have a healthier world eventually, and we're all
Yes.
contributing to that. So it feels good to be able to do that. So you mentioned some points that the body's cellular, and the ASEA redox cell signaling molecules is going to work at the cellular level to help repair those damaged cells. And we can become healthier over time. There's also business opportunity should someone want to create a business with this and share it with more people, and they can make commissions. Or if someone just wants to simply use the products, then they can get the health benefits from that. You've also mentioned to make sure you buy that from a reputable associate for the reasons that we don't want to purchase online. You mentioned we're not sure what we would get. So also the big extended family. So you've brought up a lot of great points, Jimmy, and we're so appreciative of that. Do you have any final words?
No, just share it with everybody you run into, because you never know who's looking for something or who's hurting.
Right, right. And it just could be the solution to where their life could be changed long-term, just like yours was. So great words. Well,
Yes.
Jimmy, I appreciate your time so much tonight, and thank you everyone for attending our Zoom call. We will be having another Zoom call in 2 weeks, and that will be on January 23rd. Tonight's Zoom call is recorded, and it can be found on the Creation Chiropractic YouTube channel. And we just invite everyone to join us again in a couple weeks, where we have another guest and find out how redox molecules have been changing people's lives. Again, Jimmy, thank you for your time, safe travels, and we will talk to everyone soon.
Thanks, Barbie.
Thank you. Take care.
All right.
Good night.